Frodo Baggins and the hobbits spent over 2 months in Rivendell. That is a very long time when you consider the overall length of the quest for the One Ring. What were they doing? What happened there? That is what we are talking about today. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel Gone with Gandalf, and for those of you that are new, every Friday we do lore videos such as this one, and I take recommendations from you lot in the comments below. So if you have any, pop them down there and let's get on with it. So Frodo and the other hobbits, they arrived in Rivendell around the 20th of October 3018, and they would only leave on the 25th of December. That is over 2 months for those of you that are well versed with the calendar. 3018 of Third Age, and that is then when you had the Fellowship leave Rivendell and then on their quest to destroy the One Ring. The predominant thing that happened during this time was the Council of Elrond. Everyone knows the Council of Elrond. Probably one of the best scenes in all of the films and then in the books. And this occurred on the 25th of October. So like the day after Frodo had recovered from his chase with the ring wraiths. Well, you had a quick lowdown, a bit of a history lesson of what is the One Ring and why are we here. Then you had Boromir say his line, and then Bilbo says, "Oh, I'll take it, I'll destroy it, I'll finish what I started." And Frodo says, "Sit down, mate, I've got this." So Frodo's taking the One Ring, but who witnessed this debacle? Well, I've got a list here of everyone that was there. Right, we've got Elrond, Gandalf the Grey, Frodo and Bilbo Baggins, Glorfindel the Overpowered, and Aragorn. Then Boromir, "I had a dream." Glorn and Gimli. Bilbo, "Some bad men have been asking about you." Legolas, "We let Gollum escape." Galdor of the Havens, "Why am I here?" And then the unimportant advisors. Peasants. Oh, and Sam. You also had Sam. Sam was there. It's at this point also I'd like to note that none of these members of the council were actually summoned to be there. They just popped up in the week prior to the council actually taking place. You could say that that is fate, and you'd probably be correct in that, because that is part of the story that Tolkien wrote. And it's not the first time this has happened either. It is, however, just quite an interesting point that they all have come for separate reasons, but they've all come regardless, and then they all share in the same fate for the quest of the One Ring. A discrepancy, though, from the films and the books is that in the books, the Company of the One Ring, or the Fellowship of the One Ring, that is not decided until the 18th of December. That is a week before they even leave. So 6 weeks after the council, they still don't know who's going. Well, other than Frodo, Sam, and Gandalf. Everything else is kind of up in the air. However, 7 of the members, they are largely accounted for. So you had the 3 that I already mentioned, then you had Aragorn, Boromir, Legolas, and Gimli. Elrond was like, 7's a good number, but I want 9. We need 9 walkers to match the 9 riders. Riders being the ring wraiths, the Nazgul. And he was like, let's bring in some more elves. Like, I'm thinking Glorfindel, he's hella OP. Let's bring him in. Like, that would be good. And Gandalf was like, yeah, but no. Let's bring in Merry and Pippin, because friendship, that's what counts. Friendship was deemed to be more powerful than just raw strength. So the company was decided on the 18th, and that was a week before they left. 6 weeks then, what were they doing? That's a very long time. Well, Gandalf as the guide, he'd have been, planning and plotting the route into his sat-nav, like, oh, where are we going on day 1? We got to get to there, and then we're going to camp there, and then we're going to set off, we're going to march for this many hours, and then we're going to reach there. Because, this is kind of like the Wild West. There's not a whole lot of friendlies in these lands, and there would have been a lot of orcs around, and a lot of these orcs, they would have been spies, and word would have eventually got out, probably, to Sauron, because he did have many and several spies abroad, as indeed did Saruman. So this is meant to be a secretive mission. Let's go the road less travelled, perhaps. Like, safety is paramount, and, well, paramount actually is to get the One Ring down south. Where would Gandalf have gone? Like, would he have taken the same route up the pass of Cirith Ungol, or would he have found some secret way that no one else had ever even thought of? I don't know. Nobody knows. But like obviously Aragorn and Boromir, their plan was to go to Gondor, save that also from the forces of Mordor somehow. Could they have gone through the Gap of Rohan? Probably not, because of course Isengard at this point was it was treasonous. So they would have been on the wrong side of that. And as we also know, there were several battles at Fords of the Isen. That place was a war zone. That would have been a no-go. So kind of like the way they did go was the only way to go. But did they have to go through Moria? I'd really enjoy maybe doing a what-if scenario video sometime in the future where like what if Gandalf didn't fall against the Balrog? What if Gandalf was able to guide the Fellowship further on? But as all things in story, you know, all these bad things happen for a reason, and actually it would have completely changed the story, and everything just comes together really nicely. Like Gandalf, yeah, he died, but he slew Durin's Bane, and then comes back as a stronger character or version of himself to complete the deed as Gandalf the White, and then it allows for Frodo to kind of really grow into the ring-bearer role, something that perhaps you wouldn't have seen had he been guided fully by Gandalf. So fine. Most of this time, like the 6 weeks of planning, probably was completely useless. Like it all just went out the window as soon as they made it to Moria. But let's just talk a little bit about the amount of time that they spent in Rivendell. 2 months is quite a short amount of time, but when you consider 3 months after them leaving Rivendell, that is when the One Ring was destroyed, the 25th of March, 3019. The 25th also, you know, in our calendar is seemingly quite significant as well. Interesting that Tolkien picked that date. But furthermore then, other things would happen. 25th of March, again in the 3020, that is when Frodo made it back to Bag End. Anyway, well, on that absolute epic fail, I'm going to end this video. I wasn't actually going to post this for today. I had something else in mind, but sadly that kind of also failed. So this was kind of like a backup. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and everyone stay safe out there, and I'm going with Gandalf. Good day. If this isn't recording this time, I'm going to be fuming. Who had it? Why are we here?